Good morning and welcome to the Breakfast News on ABS Television. My name is Priska Wanko. The headlines. State government skill acquisition program for indigent widows ends in Awka. Awka South Local Government Council to relocate victims of tanker fire. ECOWAS Commission intensifies efforts towards tackling insecurity and human trafficking challenges in sub-region. Austria's Vice-Chancellor Strach resigns over video scandal. And now the news in detail. The 3-day skill acquisition program for 90 indigent widows in the state, organized by the Ministry of Women and Children Affairs, has ended at Professor Dora Akuyili Women Development Center, Awka. The training for selected 90 indigent widows across the 3 senatorial zones of the state was based on production of snacks, including chin-chin, buns, and puff-puff. Correspondent Valentine Mbadoha filed on this report, taken from our studio.
In her opening remark, the wife of the governor, Dr. Mrs. Eberechukwu Obiano, who spoke through the Commissioner for Women and Children Affairs, Lady Ndidi Mezwe, reassured the participants that the state government will continue to carry them along in the scheme of things, advising them not to be depressed as a result of their present condition. She further commended their enthusiasm towards learning the skills, whilst she assured them of being among those that will be empowered in subsequent programs.
Ministry of Women and Children Affairs, no. Device na gucha nozu. I will recommend no janya, manuku ayolulo. I think if I get me, director will send money, I get a member. I walk on. I'm going to boss so kaka.
Also speaking, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Women and Children Affairs, Dr. Azuka of Formata, who was represented by the Director of Women Affairs Department, Mrs. Hope Ekesubie, who reminded the widows the essence of training was to improve their standards of living and join them to put into practice what they have learned to achieve the purpose of the training. Some of the participants, including Mrs. Ogechukwu Ekwebalo from Anambra North and Mrs. Ngozi Nwankwo from Anambra South, while expressing their delight for the program, noted that the skill acquired will impact positively in their individual lives and thanked the wife of the governor for her benevolence, praying for God's blessings and protection upon her. They were giving stipends to enable them start up small businesses.
The Transition Committee Chairman for Awka South Local Government Area, Mr. Leo Ngoba, has assured traders affected by the Anambra roundabout tanker explosion a few months ago of an ongoing plan to relocate them to a conducive and safer place to avoid future reoccurrence. Mr. Ngoba stated this during the demolition and evacuation of debris at the scene of the incident at Anambra. Correspondent Chibuzo Obidike witnessed the exercise and now reports.
Soon after the explosion of petrol tanker that claimed many lives and destroyed properties worth millions of naira, the Anambra Capital Territory Development Authority, ATDA, in company of Awka South Local Government Authority, decided to demolish and evacuate debris around the area and as well beautify the environment to erase the ugly memories of the incident. Speaking, Mr. Nwuba noted that the state government is making concerted efforts to re-establishing them to ensure they continue with their means of livelihood, and stated categorically that the council is also on dialogue with the Petrol Tankers Association to fashion out ways of assisting the affected person to cushion the effects of the incident.
Arrangement is already on top there, and very soon we have to relocate them to another place so that they will continue with their usual means of livelihood.
On the issue of street trading, the Awka South Board said the ugly trend has remained a nightmare in the state due to the increasing rate of lives and properties lost to it, which has been the reason why the state government has continued to warn traders and residents about the consequences of trading along the road, wondering why some individuals are bent on sabotaging government policies aimed at bettering their lives.
The duty of the government is to protect the life and property of the state. And our governor have done this so creditably well, and that is why when you see him chasing people away from the street, you think he doesn't know what he's doing, because he knows that the life of that people is more important than the trade they are doing there.
From Amobia, Chibuzo Bidike, ABS News.
The federal government has flagged up development of the Federal Sites and Services Scheme in Anambra State. The Minister of Works, Power and Housing, Mr. Babatunde Fashola, performed the ceremony along Okuzu-Umunya axis of the Enugu-Onitsha Express Road. Correspondents Ngozi Obileri and Michael Ame covered the events.
Sites and Services Scheme will be located at Umunya Okuzu in Oyi local government area. Inaugurating the project, Mr. Fashola, represented by the Director, Highway Construction and Rehabilitation, Ministry of Works, Power and Housing, Engineer Yemi Oguntominiyi, expressed happiness that the project has kicked off in earnest after a long delay since after the land was allocated due to logistics issues. Mr. Fashola said that all plans have been made to ensure that the project did not record any setback, promising that he will come back soon to commission the project.
Some of the benefits that are expected to be derived from this scheme, some of them are the infrastructural development such as houses, roads, services like electricity, water supply, drainages, hospitals, and building of schools.
Earlier in his speech, the traditional ruler of Umunya in Oyi local government area and the chairman of Oyi Traditional Rulers Council, Igwe Chris Onyekuluje, who commended the minister for the visit and for making the dream a reality, thanked federal government for accepting to site the project in their area. Igwe Onyekuluje drew the attention of the minister to what he called some anomalies that may disrupt the smooth running of the schemes B and C of the project that were contained in the scheme A of the project, urging him to remedy the situation.
It would be nice for a very smooth ride on this, for the association that we are giving support to call us with the controller to sit down on the round table for us to know that this is scheme A and this is scheme B.
In an address, the chairman of Okuzu Umunya Allotees Committee, retired Colonel Michael Onora, who said approval to site the project was given since 1980, regretted that work was delayed on the 236 hectares of land allotted for the project, appealing to the minister to ensure early completion of the project. In a vote of thanks, Mrs. Eukaria Alozie, who is the director in the Ministry of Works, Power and Housing, appreciated Ndi Okuzu Umunya for the warm reception accorded them, urging them to keep close monitoring on the project.
We want to thank the traditional rulers, the trustees of the Allottees Association, our staff, both at headquarters and at the state, for their cooperation and patience.
The event featured cultural dance and masquerade display. The minister and his entourage earlier paid a courtesy visit to all the traditional rulers in Oyi at the secretariat in Nteje, where the traditional ruler of Nteje, Igwe Roland Odebo, during the Kola Nut ritual, prayed for the peace of Oyi Council area, Anambra State, and Governor Willie Obiano, as well as Nigeria as a whole. From Omonia, in Oyi Council area, I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
APC stakeholders in Ekwusigo local government area have endorsed the state chairman of the party, Sir Norbert Obi, to be re-elected to serve the party in his present position for a second term. The group made this known at the APC State Secretariat in Awka. Correspondent Ngozi Obileri covered the events and brought back this report.
APC APGA stakeholders at the event included all the chairmen of the 20 wards in the council area, were led by the leader of the party in the area, retired Colonel Emmanuel Udaja. Also at the event, the group presented an award for quality leadership to the state chairman of the party, Sanobat. Receiving the group, Sanobat appreciated them for their love and support and urged them to always work as a team for the party to continue to excel. He said that the party's BOT chairman constituted a 5-man committee to ensure that the upcoming convention came out successful. Sanobat appreciated the party members for their doggedness in ensuring that the party is still knitted together despite all odds.
Election that is our problem. Selfish interest. We are not going to bulan. Once I remember there, on Babuna, okay, Ekeke, Kurmano, Biko, Kaibakon, upon William B. I met Indiana Maputa, I be Miss Amazia.
Earlier, while presenting the award, Colonel Udaja commended the party for choosing someone from the area to be at the helm of affairs at the state level, appreciating the state chairman for representing his local council well.
Anambra, APGA, for the past 4 years, all the commendable. I know that I need Selanya, seen all the comma, now you put that, Kaibaquia, Yapadove.
In a vote of thanks, the managing director, Anambra State Signage and Advertisement Agency, Chief Jude Emencheta, said that the re-election of Sanobat will further strengthen the party, noting that the humble and kind nature of the state chairman helped in promoting peace in the party.
Integrity behind this party, his humility and his gentleness. People see it as a weakness, but I think it's the biggest plus that we have in this party.
In an interview, the managing director, Oka Capital Territory Development Authority, Venerable Amechi Okwosa, and another stakeholder in the party, Dr. Jude Anambra, said the move by APGA in Ekwusigo is timely, noting that the state chairman served the party well and should be given another opportunity to complete his service to the people. From the APGA Secretariat in Oka, I am Ngozi Obileri for ABS News.
Still to come, ECOWAS Commission intensifies efforts towards tackling insecurity and human trafficking challenges in sub-region. Austria's Vice-Chancellor Strach resigns over video scandal. The news returns after this break.
If you pay your tax, go better. For good road, hospital, electricity, and good schools, help government to help you pay your tax.
Good road, good school, better hospital with medicine, light, water, all these things, we dey like am. Our people say soup wey sweet na money. Government dey do im own to make sure say all these things wey we need for Anambra State say we get am, but we get our own part of what. Now, as good citizens of Anambra State wey dey like better thing and wey love Anambra State, we supposed to pay our tax. Tax no be money wey we dey dash government no be money wey we dey throw in. Tax na our own contribution to the betterment and development of Anambra State. So, pay your tax today.
Anambra State, go better. Make you pay your tax.
You're welcome back to the news. The Economic Community of West African States Commission has presented its report to members of parliament in Abuja. The president of the regional body, Jean-Claude Brau, said while ECOWAS has recorded some progress in economic terms, the region is still bedeviled with challenges on security and trafficking. Moyo Thomas reports that the aim of the ECOWAS is to achieve collective self-sufficiency of member states and ensure integration in terms of trade and movement. He regretted that these goals continually seem a tall order for the regional body to achieve because of insecurity and youth unemployment, resulting in more internally displaced persons and increased poverty amongst the over 300 million people that inhabit the sub-region. A former Director General of the Debt Management Office, DMO, Dr. Dr. Abraham Nwankwo has said that Nigeria's infrastructure deficit can be addressed with debt financing. He, however, admitted that the conclusion that public debt should be used to finance Nigeria's massive infrastructure needs was a paradox because of the existing precarious public debt profile. Nwankwo, who was in Abuja, contended that the resolution of that paradox lie in a creative unbundling of the concepts of debt sustainability in the context of financing infrastructure for the structural transformation of the economy. He explained that distinction should be made between conventional debt sustainability, which was essentially static, and what one would identify as structural debt sustainability, which was based on a forward-looking view of the economy. Austria's Vice-Chancellor, Hans-Christian Strache of the far-right Freedom Party, has said he is stepping down and would be replaced by Transport Minister Norbert Hofer after an embarrassing video of him was published by 2 German newspapers. The far-right leader announced his resignation on Saturday, plunging the country into a political crisis, days before the key European Union (EU) elections are to be held from May 23 to 26. He maintained, however, that he had done nothing illegal. In a hidden camera sting published on Friday, Strache was shown meeting a woman posing as a Russian oligarch's niece in 2017 and apparently offering to funnel state contracts towards a company in exchange for political and financial supports. Eri Primary School Aguleri and Ezechima Primary School Onitsha have qualified for the final round of the Anambra Under-13 football tournament. Both teams secured their final tickets after beating their opponents in the semi-final matches, which were played yesterday. Valentine Mbadoha has the details.
The match between Central School Upo and Eri Primary School at Otuacha Township Stadium ended 3-1 in favor of Eri Primary School Aguleri, while the Club Central School and Ezechima Primary School Onitsha game, which was played at St. Mary's High School pitch, Iftedun, ended 3-0 in favor of Ezechima Primary School Onitsha. Although the Club Central School team lodged in a protest against their opponent, Ezechima Primary School Onitsha, which the Anambra State Football Association has promised to look into, both matches, however, ended peacefully as no one sustained any form of injuries. The final match of the tournament will take place on the 27th of May 2019 from St. Mary's High School pitch, Iftedun, in Dunukofe local government area. Valentine Mbadoga reporting for ABS News.
The remains of Madam Patricia Anunobi have been laid to rest in her husband's compound at Ebe Village, Upo, in Nnewi South local government area. The late Madam Patricia Anunobi is the mother of Mrs. Ifi Onachukwu of the ABS Programs Department. Ekwi Ajide filed on this report taken from our studio.
The burial ceremony was a gathering of family members, friends, associates, and well-wishers. The burial ceremony, which was preceded by a funeral mass at St. Mary's Catholic Church, Ukbo Center, was attended by the ABS family, led by the Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer, Chief Uche Mora, religious and business associates from Aba, Lagos, family members and friends from all parts of Ukbo. And Anambra as a whole was a testimony for Mrs. Anunobi's kind-heartedness. In a sermon at the funeral mass, the parish vicar, Reverend Father Franklin Okafo, while describing the deceased as a good Christian, reminded the congregation that death is inevitable, and as such, all should be mindful of how they live their lives on earth in readiness for the second coming of Christ. He urged the children of the deceased to emulate the footsteps of their mother and live according to the dictates of the scriptures.
And those who were nchekwube na ndụ anyị abụghị na-akwụsị n'ụwa. Ọ na-ekpatara na onye otu Kristi nwụọ bubata dịkọcha ya n'ime ụlọ ụka iji gosipụta ya bụ nkwenye na ọ nwụrụ n'anụ arụ mana ndụ ya jedebe.
In his speech, the husband of the deceased, Mr. Gabriel Angunubi, thanked God and all those who assisted in making the burial a success. Speaking to the ABS, her survivors, including her first daughter, Mrs. Ifi Onachuku, second son Izuchuku Angunubi, son-in-law Denito Sadebe, and granddaughter Jennifer Onachuku, described their mother as a peace-loving woman who tried to keep people around her happy at all times.
I've already started doing, what she expected of me, and that is bringing everybody together. I'm a very old person now because I'm everybody's mother. I've always played the motherly role, even from childhood, probably because of my name, I don't know, or because of my influence, but I've already started doing that and I will continue doing that. I need to get more people into the kingdom of God by loving people and relating with people very well.
In his speech, the managing director of the ABS, Chief Uche Ngora, who had led other heads of departments, including the Director of News and Current Affairs, Mr. Gebob Aleze, Head of Commercial, Beatrice Akwanamye, Head of Legal Unit, Juliet Amaseato, Head of Programs, Kate Aijo Keke, Head of Administration, Tina Kenta, among others, to console the family, said they came to commiserate with one of their own, Ifiona Chuku, and prayed God to give her and her siblings the hearts to bear the loss.
When you lose a dear one, it's usually very painful. But the prayer is that God will console them. At least looking at the solidarity from all, you can see here all the directors of the various departments and some of our other colleagues are here. It goes to show that if he is somebody, dear to our hearts, she's one of our pillars at ABS. If you listen to ABS and you don't hear if you Nachubu, it goes to show we hold her dear to heart. So we wish to condole with her and her family.
Some friends of the family, including the Special Assistant to the Governor on Community Liaison, Mr. Obi Ochije, and Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Disability, Barrister Chuks Ezewuzie, charged the family to take solace in God and uphold the legacies of unity and love their mother left behind. Performances by St. Teresa's Abba, CWO Ebeokbo, and Umuoku featured at the ceremony.
And may her gentle soul rest in peace. Remember that you can follow news and programs on ABS from any part of the world by liking our Facebook page at ABS Radio Television. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/ABS Radio TV online. Follow us on Twitter at ABS Radio TV and on Instagram at ABS Radio TV. You can also log on to our website at www.absradiotelevision.com. And now the main points. State government skill acquisition program for indigent widows has ended in Awka. Awka South Local Government Council is to relocate victims of tanker fire. ECOWAS Commission has intensified efforts towards tackling insecurity and human trafficking challenges in sub-region. And finally, from the foreign scene, Austria's Vice-Chancellor Strache has resigned over video scandal. And that's the end of the Breakfast News on ABS Television. Many thanks for watching. My name is Priska Wankwo. Good morning.